Welcome to a Fairhope Public Library Makerspace Maker video. I'm Allison, and today we're going to sew a face mask with a machine. Here's the machine. It's a EuroPro. It's kind of old. It makes funny noises sometimes, but it does the job. We're going to use today this really cool Harry Potter fabric. Ooh, Quidditch. All right, I don't play Quidditch, but I enjoy watching it. So what we're going to do to start out is get a 9x6 piece of fabric. If you're making this for a child, you might want to go a little bit smaller in both ways, or they can bunch it up more. 9x6 covers almost everybody's faces. If you've got a big old melon-headed husband like I do, you might have to make longer ear straps, but the 9x6 is going to cover the face even with a big old melon-headed person. We love you guys. We're making bigger ear straps for you, keep you safe. So you start out with a piece of fabric that you like, that looks good. You're going to also use a piece of t-shirt material or some other kind of fabric for the inside liner. This is the part that's going to go against your face, so make sure it's not scratchy or anything. As I said in the hand sewing video, I like to use these two fabrics that have slightly different weaves. When you put them together, that just provides a little bit more of a barrier for droplets coming in. All right, and I neglected to say in the hand sewn video, the pattern I'm using is what you'll find on the CDC website. It's very simple, it's effective. It maybe is not the most elegant looking thing, but it's a good, it's an efficient use of your fabric yardage, and it's very easy to sew. There's just a lot of straight lines and a little bit of folding. So this is a really good pattern for people who are not good at sewing or who haven't sewn in a long time. All right, so if you're new to sewing, the right side of your fabric is the cool side that you want to look at. The wrong side of your fabric is the other side. We're going to put our right sides together, just like that, to make our little sewing sandwich. Inside the sandwich, we're going to put the ear loops because we want to have them on the outside when we turn this inside out after we sew the first seam. Again, this is your ear strap. It's a piece of fabric that's super stretchy. I don't like using elastic because, first of all, it's super hard to find these days with everybody buying it up, making face masks for the people they love. And the other problem is that it can hurt your ears if you wear it all day long. If you have one with elastic, I have one with elastic, using hair elastics. And even that, after a while, will get a little bit annoying on my ear. But I really like these guys. They work well. You can keep them on all day at work and stuff like that. So what I do is I get about a 7-inch piece of this fabric. This is about 6.5. This is probably going to be a child's mask. I happen to know a lot of children who like Harry Potter, so I'm sure I'll find a home for this one. So take your piece. It's about 2 inches wide, 6.5 inches long for a child. Fold it into thirds like this. Get a little roll there. We're going to put it in our mask sandwich, leaving about a pinky of space between the edge of the fabric and the ear strap. Going to put it in nice and perpendicular with the edge here and pin my sandwich. Get my pin cushion over here. How many you have one of these at home? Oh yeah, the classic, the tomato with the strawberry. I've heard that the strawberry is for sharpening your needle, so every once in a while I'll stick the needle in there just to see what happens. All right, so I've got this closed. Going to pin it, pinning all the way through to the other edge so that it stays where I want it. Then I'm going to take the other edge over here, make sure it's not too twisted, and do the same thing up at this side. Make it happen perpendicular, about a pinky away from the top edge, perpendicular to the side here. Make your little sewing sandwich. It is about lunchtime. Maybe I'm just saying sandwich because I'm hungry. All right, got that side done. I'm going to do this side. Same thing. Okay, so we've got these parts all put together, pinned together nicely. They do kind of bunch up here. You're going to have to be aware of that when you sew. Make sure you don't get too many wrinkles. Now let's go to the machine. Okay, I'm here at my machine. This is right side up. You can just sort of see the word Quidditch here. I like to start mine from the bottom just so I'm consistent, and I always sew on the printed side because this fabric is really not stretchy at all. This fabric is super stretchy, and if you try to sew here, it's going to pull and stretch and get weird. So sew with the top part being the 100% cotton yardage that you've got. All right, so I'm going to start about 1/3 of the way up so that I leave a hole here. I'll sew all the way around the perimeter and then stop about 1/3 of the way on so that I have this nice little hole to turn everything right side out. So here we go. Let me find the rheostat. Here we go. To start this off, if you've got a machine, I'm pretty sure you don't need to be told this, but I always reverse it a tiny bit to knot it right there. So if you feel like you want to, when you get to the corners, you can go over them twice. Using the reverse. They're gonna get a lot of pull, you know, so it wouldn't hurt to have that happen just so you get that extra little bit of knowledge that it's not gonna come apart on you. Again, reverse a little bit to get that knot and pull it off. This is an old machine and it doesn't have the cutter behind the needle. All right, get all my pins out because you do not want to leave a pin in there if you're going to be sticking it on your face. All right, so here we go. It's all sewn all the way around the perimeter. I've got this little hole right here. I'm going to flip it inside out. Now is a really good time for you to test your ear straps. Give them a good pull. And of course, one thing it does is shows you if you're missed a bit when you were sewing, which happens all the time when I hand sew these guys. I didn't miss it this time, did a pretty good job. The other thing is it pulls everything out nicely, looks good. Now, if you want to, at this point, you can press your edges so they're nice and flat. And what I'm going to do now is put a top stitch all along the perimeter. It looks nice and it also closes your hole here because you don't want the hole in there. All right. I like to start here for reasons I'll show you in just a minute. Told you it made funny noises. Okay, I may have to stop the video and oil this dude. Okay, we have oiled the creature and hopefully it will be a little bit more quiet. Let's see what happens. Incidentally, this is called top stitching and we're doing this to get a nice seam all the way around and close the hole we made. All right, here we go. Oh my goodness. the word I was looking for earlier, but the corners is reinforcement. We want to reinforce those corners so the straps don't break. Alright, here I am closing the gap. Make sure this is folded in correctly the way you want it. And here we are back at the beginning. Alright, I'm going to get rid of some of these guys because they're in the way. And remember, I said I was going to tell you later why I started in the corner that I liked. When I am hand sewing these, I always pin everything, but I have found it's a little bit easier, a little bit faster, I should say, just to do this hand folding thing as you go along here. So I've got one little fold here. We're going to do 3 pleats. Go over it, go backwards. Get the next little pleat in there. Again, go backwards. 3rd pleat. Go backwards. And you're done with that side. Get the other side going. Same thing. Start up in the corner. Get the first fold in, go backwards a little bit. And while you're still back there, make the second fold. Go backwards again. 3rd fold. Don't sew your finger. You are done with your mask. All you need to do is trim it up. Again, you can find this pattern on the CDC website, the Centers for Disease Control, and they have other fascinating tips about wearing a mask and how to wash them and stuff. I like to wash mine by hand and leave them to dry overnight. We have these hooks on the front door, the wreath hooks. Just keep them up there so that whenever you leave the house, you have a mask. And there's our Quidditch mask. Ta-da! Beautiful. Gonna keep you safe. Thanks for watching this Makerspace Maker video. One day we'll have programming again and we can all get together and sew together and do other fun stuff up here. Until then, put your comments on the Facebook page for the Fairhope Public Library Makerspace, and I'll see you there. Thanks for watching.